Hey everybody, so if you're like me, finding ballistic fiber can be a bit of a pain, especially in the early parts of the game where you're not entirely sure where everything is. So I'm hoping this is a helpful guide for those of you who are looking for it. It's used in armor crafting as well as repair. So I found that oftentimes I would create armor cheaper than I could actually repair it. So you could make some good, just leather armor for example, but after a certain level, I want to say it's 40 or 45 for pretty much everything, but I'm not sure if this scales based on the type of armor that you have. But after that point, every piece of armor seems to require basically the same components, and one of those is ballistic fiber. So this guide will hopefully help you guys out a little bit with finding that on your servers. Now, before jumping into that, I wanted to mention, as a good XP area as well as just all-purpose loot area to farm, I wanted to throw out the Charleston Capital. And this is an area where I don't see many players at all when I'm in game, but I think it's a great location. There's a couple areas like here where I'm at right now, this little conference, or what would you call this, kind of like a press room type area. There's battered clipboards that spawn here all the time. There's an area downstairs that you'll see me go to where there's typewriters that always spawn. So you can get things like your springs and your screws while you are also just farming for XP. And the enemies here are very easy to take out. I mean, they're only levels 5 to 10 generally. So I'm just using a Tesla rifle, which I find very useful for farming mob type enemies that are not very powerful, because it tends to jump from enemy to enemy. It's an electricity gun and it jumps from enemy to enemy, so you can hit 2 to 3 enemies with one shot. And you take something like this, or just a melee weapon, whatever it is you have, and just kind of run through the Charleston Capital. You'll find super mutants, you'll find ghouls, and although they nerfed a bit of the XP that you get from enemies, I'm still finding that I get a fair amount. I mean, if an enemy is level 1, I found it went from like 6 XP I would get normally, or 9 to like 3. So you might say, well, if they reduce it by a third, that's pretty significant. I still found that these enemies I'm killing here in the Charleston Capital, this footage was taken earlier this week, I found that the enemies were still giving me 20 to 30 XP, and that I was able to level up. To me, it seems like pretty much the same as before. You know, it's a little bit, it takes a little bit longer, but honestly, it's not too bad. I still find that if you just kind of go about your business killing enemies, then you're going to level up fairly quickly. So now to get into the substance of this video, you're going to want to go to the asylum here in the southeast corner of the map near the Cranberry Bog. This is where the Brotherhood of Steel made their last stand, and you'll get here naturally through the progression of the main story, but of course you can come down here whenever you want. And basically when you get in here, all you want to do is check these rooms, the asylum rooms. I'd also recommend going up towards where the elevator is at, the second floor where the Brotherhood area is, the restricted area, and to do that you will have to complete portions of the main quest to do. The bunk areas where the Brotherhood of Steel members slept are good areas to find the military ammo bags, which, if you don't know, military ammo bags give you ballistic fiber. But if you don't want to do that portion of the main story, you can just check the random asylum rooms like I'm doing here, and you will find ballistic fiber in the military ammo bags all around. I also find that this place is just a good, once again, XP area. It's big, there's tons of enemies. They're higher level, so they'll give you a bit more XP, but you'll have to expend more resources to do it. But there's also just a lot of decent loot as well. There's junk, of course, which you can never get enough of, but there's also the armory room here that you can loot as well. There's dynamic weapons that just spawn here, and you can use those yourself. You can scrap them, you can for the materials, or you could, if you're looking for a particular mod, you can check in here. I tend to find combat shotguns and rifles and such, but I'm guessing it probably scales a bit to your level. And there's also potentially a fusion core that can spawn in this room, so if you're finding yourself low on those, this might be a decent area to farm at. So yeah, that's just about it. Quick video to upload, help you guys out, and I'll be trying to upload these more in the future, in the near future here, about areas that I found are decent locations to find certain junk items or rare junk items, because when you don't need it, it doesn't matter, but if you've got something you really want to craft, whether it's power armor or something, and you don't have that component that you want, it can be incredibly frustrating to find it when you're actually looking for it. Then it seems like that component you need, you're just never going to find. So hopefully these will help you guys out, and if you guys found this video to be helpful at all, leave a like button, don't forget to subscribe, comment, you know the deal, and see you guys in the next video.